folks? How about you feeling? Chad Sanchez here. I know it's been a minute since I've actually done a video of this nature. Reason is because of, it's to your, it's to my, to your right and my left. I got swelling in this area, so I've been off for a few weeks or so. Haven't done a lot of video because I told y'all I know it's raining out here, but I'm kind of on the road a little bit. But I've actually my computer, my big tower, the one that I do all the videos, the high grade one. It died mainly because a lot of outages we've been having to the point to where the computers no longer stop working. A lot of stuff stopped working, so we gotta move on. I end up getting another computer. It's not no brand new or fancy one, but it'll do. It'll be enough to edit this video or so. But we got bigger plans coming up. What I want to talk about, hope y'all see the video I did earlier. It's just a little warm up because I'm trying to make sure this heals properly. I don't want to do a lot of heavy weights. I'm doing like lighter weights, high reps, no full extension. People do all I can't lift this all the way up. This full range thing, instead of doing this, doing shorter range of motion, which is going to heal it faster, pumps the blood. 40 reps, 30 reps, 40 reps on up, no less than that. 30 reps or more, 40 reps, just to keep the tension going, to keep the production, the blood flowing. Also, what I really want to talk about, I know again it's raining, you hear all the noise. Let me see if I can adjust this. Let me adjust this right here. Let me see if I can make an adjustment. Okay, can y'all hear me better? Okay. I want to talk about what went down between Lavar Ball and Kristine Leahy. I know this is fitness, but fitness is a sport. Bodybuilding, crossfitting, weightlifting, powerlifting is a sport, if you like it or not. No, just like no different than discus. It's a sport. So this is related to sports. And I'm not going to be long. But the issue between that is why people who may be of Caucasian descent, Caucasian, white people, etc., European people, got upset that Lavar Ball disrespected Kristine Leahy, he doesn't respect women, and all this other typical angry black man mentality. But the truth is, Kristine Leahy attacked Lavar Ball and his family before he got on the show. That's why he never looked at her. He never pointed his attention to her. He never stared at her or nothing. Because if a man was threatening her, he would have looked right directly at her in a menacing manner. He never took one look at her during the whole time because he did not want to talk to her. He did not address her whatsoever. He was there for Chris Crowler to do the show. But people looked at it and said, oh, he's a bad guy. Oh, he's using his kids. Oh, he's using them up. He's abusing them. But let's be honest. The kids are blessed to have a father like him because he is looking out for the interests. What he's trying to do is build a brand for his children so they won't have to go running around begging Nike, Adidas, Reebok, Under Armour, other shoe companies to get a deal. As you see players, you think they're getting big money, but that's not the reality. Allen Iverson got a deal with, I think, Reebok for $30 million for 10 years. You got to do the math on this one. $30 million. 40% taxes. It comes right out of your check immediately. And they don't pay you all at once. So that's more tax money. 40% Uncle Sam gets it. 8% your agent gets it. 15% the lawyer gets it. And if you have other financial obligations, family, children, that's subtracted out of there. You're not left with a lot of money. And then by that 10-year stretch, by the time they end up paying him $30 million, they already made $3 billion off him. Probably in the first few years, they already made $3 billion and probably even more money. Because again, they have a right to use his image for the 10 years. They got a right to use his image any way they seem fit to make a profit. Lavar Ball was teaching his sons and other people out there, young guys who are going to NBA, NFL, etc., to have your own brand, because they didn't want to sign a exclusive deal with Nike them. They want a distribution deal. Basically, it means that Nike, Under Armour, Adidas will either pick up big baller brand shoes and clothing under their label. That's what they was looking for, and they got turned down for that, because they don't want to see that you got your brand, you're going to get the big percentage of that brand pricing than Nike, etc., because they're going to be a distribution there. They're going to take at least 30%. You're going to get 30, 70%. But you sign an exclusive deal with them, using your image, they're going to take about 80%. You're going to get less than 20. That $30 million is nothing, because they're going to make $3 billion in less than a year or 2 years off the clothing, shoes, sneakers, your image, etc. They'll run your commercials, they get millions of dollars each week. So LaVar Ball, what he was trying to impose is something that is unheard of. Well, it's heard of, but it's not been practiced in the game of professional sports. To have your own brand and your distribution already intact. So instead of begging Nike to slap labels on you and use your image, all he's coming with is, hey, we got a shoe, we got a label, we got copyright, we got everything. All we need is a distribution. That's it. We need a distribution deal. And that's a smart move. And some of y'all will say, oh, LaVar Ball, he bad parent, he controls his kids, he's out of control. Let me tell you something. Worry about your kids. Worry about your own children. Worry about what they're heading to, and they're not engaging in cutting their wrist or killing themselves or committing blue whale. Y'all know who y'all know you're talking about when I say blue whale. Doing the blue whale game or the choke out game. Some of your kids are engaging in that, and you're not even paying attention to them. But yet, you want to talk about this man's kids like he's doing something wrong. They're drug-free. They're not in no gangs. They're not troublemakers like a lot of a number of these NBA players that are raised by single parents or legal guardians. But yet, we don't want to talk about that. You know, we'll talk about that if it suits our agenda. But then here comes a man and a wife, raised 3 sons together, excellent sons. And now it's a problem because the father has a backbone compared to the other ones that don't have a backbone. Now you're being threatened. And that's what Kristine Leahy said. And for Europeans out there, you got to understand why people like me and others of color are upset. Not just black, but Latino, Asian, etc. Because we heard that same old tactic. And she may not consciously knew what she was doing, but that old same tactic, like Charlemagne God did say, got Emmett Till killed. When you say, oh, are you threatening me? 50 years ago, LaVar Ball would have been dragged and hung on an oak tree. But now you get ridiculed by the media and you get destroyed by public opinion. And the man didn't threaten you. He just said you're going to get what's coming to you. Get what's coming to you doesn't have to mean, oh, I'm going to hurt you or something like that. That can be verbally. That can be karma. You know, they're saying that, you know, you're doing this evil to the world, you're going to get what's coming to you. That is not a threat. That just means what you put into the world, you're going to get back. And that's the same what's going to happen to Kristine Leahy. Because she already attacked the guy's character, his family, his sons, before he got on the show. So y'all talking about, oh, clapping back. Oh, he was clapping on her. No, she did the clapping. He just clapped back when she said something. He didn't even address her whatsoever. He did not even address her. He didn't even address her. She talked. She ran her mouth. He responded. If you watch the whole interview and the transcript, you will understand why the things the way they work. And then you had Jason Whitlock, some big guy who no one likes, who sit up there, oh, he disrespected her, and Charlemagne the guy will be dealt with. That sounds like a threat, my friend. You want to talk about she saying that LaVar threatened her? He didn't threaten her. But Jason Whitlock, You threatened Charlemagne the God for talking about being dealt with. You know what dealt with means? That means you got to go. Getting what's coming to you is karma. Getting dealt with means death, pretty much. Brutality. But I don't understand. Some of y'all, I don't know. Maybe y'all minds is closed a little bit, and you got to understand why. You got some people out there, our own people, that are willing to compromise themselves as a man or as a woman to appease some of y'all's mentality. They're not to be trusted. Jason Whitlock, guys like that, they're not to be trusted whatsoever. Because they prove that they will compromise their manhood just to get a little position at the dinner table. You can't trust those people. You know what they say about traitors. You can't trust them. There's traitors in every nationality, every race, every people. But what he did to compromise himself as a man, Jason Whitlock to me is a coward. He's a punk. I can't trust a man like that. We may have difference of opinion. We don't have to agree on the same thing, Whitlock. But to sit there and compromise your manhood for this Kristine Leahy lady who was in the wrong from the beginning, that says a lot about your character. Yeah, you might got more money than me. Yeah, you might be famous. You might be a big time, but you know what? I'm not 500 pounds, and I'm still a man at the end of the day. I'm going to tell her like it is. But that's just my thoughts on the whole Kristine Leahy, Lavar Ball matter. I think it was blown out of proportion. Honestly, I think Leahy should apologize to Lavar Ball when she attacked him. You attacked him before he got on the show. You know what you did. We got the transcripts and everything, the audio as well. Like, oh, his kids are scared of him, and I can tell they're living in fear, and you know, they can't have their dad around in the NBA world because you're going to be with a bunch of grown men. I'm going to tell you something. A lot of those you call grown men, they still kids. They living in their second childhood. Because look at the trouble they get into. You know what? Those guys need men, fathers like Lavar Ball in their life. Otherwise, you wouldn't see a lot of this thuggery, this gang stuff, all this foolishness, alleged rape, sex harassment, etc. You wouldn't have a lot of that stuff in the NBA if you had fathers like Lavar Ball at the home. Now you got a father like Lavar Ball at the home. Now you're upset. Now you're being threatened. Now you're being compromised. Now, why? No, because you're mad because you're afraid to see a man of color that have a backbone. That's why you'll use people like Jason Whitlock. This is Chad Sanchez. And yeah, I will be putting up more fitness videos. Thank y'all very much for being patient with me.